I gave GRE 3 times.
What was your motivation to go for a master's abroad?
I want to address a dogma that is incessant in the Indian crowd, that US is a only place to succeed. Exactly.
But you decided I'm going to go to Cornell instead of Stanford. How did that happen? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this interview come podcast. And today I have a very special person, a very humble person, a good friend of mine, Aditya Shinde, who is not only a friend, a mentor as well for me for the past few months. And I'm very impressed and I'm very happy that he gave some time to walk us through about his life and what his journeys are. And I will not take much of your time. I'll let the man speak about himself. So, over to you, Aditya.
So I have met Rishi in Toastmasters. We have met through Toastmasters, and now we have become good friends. And it's a privilege for me to be his mentor. His funny side always comes through his speeches, which I like very much. He's a satirical person, and now I look forward to him to scale new heights in Toastmasters and beyond. As you have started this unfiltered by Rishi, I hope I get to see more satirical side of you.
Thanks. That's very generous of you to brand me.
Thank you.
So let's start with first question. It is a very generic question. Who is Aditya Shinde? What's his story? And let's just walk through so that the audience, most of the will be students, can know about you.
So Aditya Shinde, first of all, is a civil engineering graduate. So I have done my diploma in civil engineering and then bachelor's in civil engineering. And after that, I've worked 2 years in my father's business, and I have a small stint of corporate in Worley Parsons. And now I am looking forward to get my master's in professional studies, MPS, in real estate development from Cornell University. So there's one side of me which I explored during this 2 years stint in my family business as public speaking. I discovered myself as a public speaker in college, but I got to practice and get a hold on that in Toastmasters. Toastmasters lets you to experiment, lets you to try and fail. And if it doesn't work, you get on to new thing and you experiment again. So I think yes, that would be all.
So clearly the public speaking and Toastmasters is something that you're really appreciative and passionate about.
Very passionate about, yeah.
So I'll come to that little later. First, let's get to the part that you are going for abroad studies.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big market, and many people in India, students are always looking for US colleges. So let's get to know what and not doing it in India in general. How did that thought process came and how you executed it?
Firstly, I want to address a dogma that is incessant in the Indian crowd, that US is a only place to succeed. And succeed in a way that they go to study there and they stay there forever. They earn in dollars and they want to settle there because obviously it is comfortable.
Correct.
But I think going to US there should be a purpose. Either you're going to study, or either you're going to take their PRship, or you want to settle there by taking PR basically. So my purpose to go to US was to study, and I think I do but I have to give my contribution to India. If everyone goes and leaves India for a better country, there will always be a better place and we would not have a home to call. Correct? So I want to go to US for study and exposure. Obviously there's an international exposure, and as you know, USA is very famous for the entrepreneurial stint that people have. One thing which inspired me to have my real estate development degree in US is the WeWork company. The founder's name was Adam Newman, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So he started the co-working space, and that became very famous before, and even now a few years before, when the WeWork company got bankrupt. Yeah,
we all heard that.
Co-working space has boomed everywhere in the world now. But Adam Newman started in approx 2010 10s,
Mhm.
2010s. And to imbibe that entrepreneurial culture, to have that international exposure, I felt studying in US would be a better option for me than studying in India.
Okay. So that's a very elaborate and that's a very clear answer. And I've in fact taken a very important note that you have a clear purpose of going to US. You're not
Yes.
just going there for studies and just settling down. You
Hmm.
have a purpose to coming back and giving back to your home country.
Yes, I do.
Which sometimes I've seen a lot of students don't go for that option
Hmm.
because yes, comfortable factor comes in.
Yeah.
So next question is, now that we have understood that you are going to US or abroad in general, there will be steps.
Correct.
So what were the steps, exams, and how did that complete step-by-step process completed for you? So that students can know that these are my things to do, so that they are very clearly from today to next 1 year what all I have to be ready with, what finances maybe I have to take
Yeah.
up to. So let's walk through that.
So what happens is, first of all, you need to finalize what degree you are going to take, MS or MBA. Depending on that, there are various exams, entry-level exams. For instance, for MS or MPA, which I am doing, there's a GRE. And for MBA generally there's a GMAT. And now there are many universities which are accepting GRE as well for MBA. In India you have like CAT to give an entry exam.
Yes.
So for after you finalize which course you want to do, you can concentrate on the exams, GRE or GMAT. So GRE and GMAT is the first phase exam, and the second phase exam comes as a language test. So in language test, we have Duolingo, we have IELTS, we have TOEFL. You can choose any one, but it is said that for USA, TOEFL is a better choice, and for Europe and all the world in general, IELTS is a better choice because IELTS is comparatively simple.
Okay.
So first of all, you finalize your degree which you want to do, and then you research what gets accepted in that through that degree, GRE or GMAT, and then you go to TOEFL language test, and after language test you apply to colleges, and this is very different than what we experience in India. These colleges not only completely emphasize on they don't completely emphasize only on marks. They also give importance to your extracurriculars. So for instance, if you have scored on the lower range in any of the exams, GRE or TOEFL, and if you have good extracurriculars, you have done something out of the box, outstanding in your college or even after the degree, you are continuing some of the activities. For me, it was Toastmasters, continuing public speaking. Even that is considered as a major factor to showcase your potential.
Okay.
And I think potential is the one major thing which universities look in you for giving admission.
Okay.
And after you apply, you need to wait for some times. And during application also, there are many essays which they try to find out your purpose on why do you want to pursue this degree, why do you want to pursue this degree from this university only. After that, submitting the application, you need to wait for like from 7 days to 1 month or 1.5 months, whatever the timeline is. After that is complete, you get a decision, and if you accept that decision, then comes the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
So there is a big mountain, starting from finalizing the university and then giving exams and then essays, applying, and then comes after acceptance. There is other side, health insurance, health checkup, visa application, and then service fee, visa interview, and after finalizing visa interview, start to book the air tickets and accommodation.
Okay, that's a quite elaborative and quite descriptive one answer. And important thing to note was that you mentioned that there's a difference between how Indian people, universities select you versus the international.
Yes.
We are currently focusing on US. So it's you have to be very clear what program you want to select.
Yes.
Then you make that choice and you start studying.
Yes.
And
You should
then
be
you
very
apply.
sure about why, the why factor. Why this university and why this program.
So for all the viewers, especially the students and the parents for them, please emphasize on this part if you are targeting the abroad studies that it has to be a program first choice as compared to India. It's a different thing, so make a note of it. So let's go ahead of this. So we have completed a journey, you mentioned your program is MPS.
Yes, Masters of Professional
So I
Studies.
think we should focus on at least have a talk at what is MPS, because I'm very much sure, I'm come from engineering background, so anyone going abroad, they go for MS, Master of Science. So what is MPS?
So MPS was also a new degree for me when I explored other degrees while searching for masters. So MS focuses on research. Usually, MS focuses on research, and MBA is completely a general business degree. MPS, I think, is a part of both. So in MPS, you have an education focused. Now I'm doing in real estate. Focus on one thing, either management or real estate or something else. Giving practical insight of the industry. So here we don't have to do a research sort of thesis sort of thing.
Okay.
You might have to give a paper, but it is less rigorous in the terms of academics and gives more exposure, practical exposure to the industry.
Okay. So that's quite unique, and I think it's a very good thing for anyone who's from coming from civil engineering background.
Yeah.
So you should definitely check this out if you're looking for abroad study and going for masters in your field. Now let's come to, you've got the marks, you've got the program. Which universities you converted in US?
So I applied for 5 universities. So my top was Stanford University, MIT, and then Cornell University, and then I applied for UT Austin, University of Texas at Austin, and then 5th was in Netherlands, to Delft.
Okay.
I converted 3 among them. I didn't heard back from University of Texas at Austin, and I got rejected from MIT.
Okay.
So I converted Stanford, Cornell, and TU Delft.
Okay. And you chose to go to US for?
Yes,
Okay.
I chose Cornell in US.
So okay, you chose Cornell University. Now, how did you decide? Because Cornell and Stanford Ivy Leagues.
Correct.
If I'm not wrong, I'm not very clear, but I know about Stanford.
Same strata, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you finally decide? Because many people, if I'm not wrong, they go for brand. Brand
Correct.
names are always there in Indian.
Correct.
We all know. If you get any IIT, I'm not going to shift down to NIT. If I get IIT, I want that time, and it helps in India.
Exactly.
But you decided I'm going to go to Cornell instead of Stanford. How did that happen?
You won't believe, I was very adamant to have Stanford, to go to Stanford just before Stanford gave his acceptance. So what happened is, I was preparing at the Cornell gave acceptance on January, and till March, May, I didn't heard anything from March, April. I didn't heard anything from Stanford. So I was just preparing what should I do if Stanford rejects. So I was in the process of accepting Cornell as it is, and me and my counselor was sitting and deciding the pro and cons of both Stanford and Cornell. At that time, I got into the nuances like the syllabus and what usually people do after completing their degree of both in Stanford and both in Cornell. So programs of both were different. In Stanford, it was MS in Sustainability, Development, Design and Construction, which is a civil engineering degree offered by Stanford School of Engineering. And in Cornell, it was MPS, Masters of Professional Studies in Real Estate, which is given by SC Johnson School of Business.
Okay.
My purpose was clear, that I want to do a business afterwards. And I thought which degree will help me more in preparing myself, my mindset in terms of a businessman, as an entrepreneur. Stanford has a very good business environment, and Cornell is also in terms of leadership, it is very good. When I had the interview with both the professor, one thing I noticed, the number of times entrepreneurship, business and leadership, these words were repeated more by the Cornell professor, and research was more emphasized by the Stanford professor.
Okay.
And after both the interviews, I looked at the curriculum, and Cornell's curriculum had deal structuring and how to manage finances. So overall, I found that what I wanted as to start my own business, everything was in the curriculum. Also, it had few things of architecture which I wanted to explore, and Cornell Schools of Architecture and Planning is very famous.
Okay.
And third factor for me was it's hospitality school. So I have a dream to have my own resort or a partner to support a resort of my own. So I thought I can learn about hospitality real estate in Cornell. Because of these three factors, I chose Cornell to be my best choice than Stanford.
Excellent. I mean, that time frame that you got, it was like a blessing in disguise. You could
exactly.
Maybe you were nervous at that point, like I want Stanford. But then you started looking into it because I don't have any option like that.
You know, if Stanford would have replied directly 1 month later or even earlier than Cornell, I would have chosen Stanford eyes closed. Just because I had a lot of time, I was thinking how I can extract value from Cornell. Cornell is a very good industry, no offense, but how can I, extract value in whatever I get? I found that I can do a lot of things in Cornell, and I discovered a lot of clubs which can help me to develop myself as a person. That's where I got sold in that time frame.
That is great, and I will advise all the viewers to, if you are in a certain situation like Aditya was, do look at your programs. Maybe going with brand may not be helpful, may be helpful. It's a completely different story. So,
and look at to the alumni what they are doing right now. So what I did was, I was very confused what should I do. So what I did was, I checked what Stanford graduates of that degree and Cornell graduates of this degree doing. So I didn't found a lot of people in real estate. Real estate was my I had an affinity towards commercial real estate. I didn't found a lot of people from Stanford going into commercial real estate, where I found here a lot of people in VP positions and P positions, president positions of different companies. So that helped me to make up my mind where should I have more liking towards, or which should I choose finally.
Excellent. So that's a very beautifully painted picture, and I am sure the viewers will be very much content with the answer they have given, and maybe we will see more Indians coming over there. Maybe after, there can be a chance that some of the students who must see the video, they might be a junior of yours at Cornell.
I would like that.
You definitely would. So now let's come to next part. We mentioned when we started a talk, you mentioned about Toastmasters. So let's get to know. You explain to me what is Toastmasters, and then we'll carry on from there.
Okay. So when I first discovered Toastmasters, I thought it is just a public speaking platform where people come on the stage and speak for 7 minutes. But when I discovered Toastmasters, when I went inside and really discovered the real Toastmaster, I found leadership is just public speaking is just one factor of Toastmasters, and then there comes leadership also. So there are executive committees in a club. So there is a club, and above club there is an area which consists of many clubs, and above the area there is division which consists of many areas, and there is district which consists of many divisions. So what happens is, to manage clubs, areas, there is a leadership team, and when you get appointed to this leadership program, you get a chance to develop yourself as a leader. And the third most neglected, I would say, factor in Toastmasters is networking.
Yes.
So I am a BE graduate from Datta Megi College of Engineering in Airoli. I got a chance to network with a person in BITS Pilani. I got a chance to network with a person who has no degree but is an entrepreneur and having his own company from last 15 years. I got a chance to meet a teacher who first thought that she wouldn't be able to do that, but overcome her obstacle, and finally she is an teacher in English literature.
Okay.
So you get inspired by looking at these people. That's what Toastmasters does at large. When you look from a distance, Toastmaster is just public speaking. You start going to Toastmaster with public speaking, but once you get inside, you get to know the leadership, you get to know the networking skills.
Okay.
It's just that you need to give time. Time is very important.
Basically, if in short, visit a club, I think is
Yes.
correct. Get to know, it will take you some time,
Yeah.
Have patience and start. Networking will come. You take up some roles. You start becoming regular, and then the things will start happening.
Right.
So okay. Now next comes very obvious question. The next will be, we got to know what you understood about Toastmasters.
Right.
How it personally helped you in your life in general, and did it also help in your applications for your masters?
Yes, it did indeed. So what happened was when I was applying for this big universities, and what I heard till now was to get into this big Ivy Leagues, you need to have a big bachelor's degree from a big name college like IIT, NIT, and I was very nervous. Will I get it or not? And my scores were very average. And I think this is where Toastmasters helped me. Toastmasters helped me in terms of giving me extracurricular support. I did a lot of speeches, I won contests in public speaking, I managed events, I helped organization of the events. And on the second part, I got LORs. LORs from one person who was president of my club, and the other person who was co-founder of 2 companies. So if I wouldn't have joined Toastmasters, I wouldn't have been able to get those LORs also. And LORs are the major factor in for university selecting you.
Okay, that's a great thing. Clearly, the networking part came into picture once again.
Yes.
So, and for the viewers, the LORs he's talking about, he himself has interviewed that person, so you can definitely watch him when he releases that video. So, in fact, so we'll come to that picture once again. So, Toastmasters, then you have clearly your passion and your, let us say, the things you are interested in started to tick at Toastmasters as well. So now you're going to abroad.
Correct.
Are you planning to join the club there as well? And what will be your plans from here on?
So my goal is to have a successful business. So I have my goal. Now whatever decision I'll take keeping that goal in mind. Rest all will be byproduct. Rest all my aspirations, rest all my achievements would be byproducts of the decision I make. But the goal of having my own business would be very conscious. So I will be being part of different business clubs in Cornell, and also I will be visiting clubs at Cornell. There is a club of Toastmasters in Cornell named Big Red Toastmasters. I will also joining that. So in overall, I think if I get even say 20% of what I got in Toastmasters India, I would be very happy in Cornell Toastmasters, the Big Red Toastmasters.
Great. That's fantastic. There's one question that I missed to ask. It's related to your preparation for GRE.
Okay.
I think we should address it. How did you strategize your? See, I've given exams in Indian exams. There is always a strategy going on. It's competitive, no doubt. Even GMAT is competitive, there is no doubt. International students are competing for that top scores. How did you strategize? And maybe if you are open, do let us know what were the scores.
Okay. So I gave GRE 3 times.
Okay.
So first time I was very confident that I am going to do it, and I did it. I got around 298 out of 340, which is like below average, we can say.
Okay.
And then I felt very bad, and then I thought I think I should give again. The second time I prepared, and I got sick.
Okay.
Just before my GRE. I got sick and I couldn't attend GRE. And third time I gave, even then I was going to miss it. So what happened is, when I left home, I live in Panvel. So Panvel is a town in Navi Mumbai, and my center was in Goregaon.
Okay.
It's almost 2.5 hour distance. So I left from Panvel around through train around 3 hours earlier, and the train in which I left, the train stopped at its place for around half an hour.
Okay.
And I was shit scared what to do next. So I got down, I ran on the track, and I got in the auto. Yeah, I got in the auto. The auto got stuck in traffic. The auto wala said, "Sir, you will miss your exam now. Let me drop you to the metro station at Ghatkopar." So from there you manage yourself. So I did that. Because I stuck in the traffic, I ran for 10 minutes to Ghatkopar station just before the exam. Ghatkopar station se I went to Andheri, and from there I called a dear friend of mine who agreed to help me, and he dropped me from his scooty Andheri to Goregaon in 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's a 25 minutes distance. In 10 minutes, he was very fast. I was shit scared, will I be able to make it alive? I got there 5 minutes late. They took me in, and finally I got to give my exam. And that day I got 310.
It's good.
It's like average. At quant I got 160, and verbal I got 150. And in essays I got 3 out of 6. Yeah.
Okay.
So GRE is challenging a bit, but with practice you can do. And if you are not able to do it in the first attempt, try to give it second time. It's your career after all.
Correct. And I think because these exams, GRE and GMAT, they don't have that limitation that only once a year you can give. You can schedule it whenever you want.
Yes.
So that's a flexibility that's a boon in fact. So that's a great thing. So I think we are coming to a conclusion of the interview. I'll just ask you one thing. Anything from your heart that you want the viewers, the students to tell? Any message? Platform yours.
In this 1 year of journey of preparation and application and achievement, I have known one thing for sure: failure is inevitable. Whatever you try, first time you might fail. But if you want that thing bad, you should try second time. Be it your dream college, be it your GRE exam, or be it any career if you want. Failure is something you need to be friends with. And if that's not the case, maybe you'll like to have a normal everyday job, maybe. But for me, I had a poster in my room, in my study table. The idea is to avoid being painfully mediocre.
Idea is to be painfully mediocre.
The idea is to avoid being painfully mediocre.
Okay.
That might sound toxic to a few, but I took that to my very heart. I took that very personally. I need to avoid mediocrity, and that meant even if I failed first time, I should take it very seriously second time, and I should give my best, which something maybe if I gave my best in the first attempt, I should give more than my best in the second attempt. That's what, and that propelled me to run I think on my third attempt, to not miss this GRE, because I prepared for like 12 hours in a day for my third attempt.
Okay.
For 1 month. It is not sustainable at all for a person like me. But if you do, I think you don't want to miss that chance to give the result.
Okay.
So failure will come. You need to learn to embrace it, and you have your values at place. You will succeed at last.
That's impressive, Aditya. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here.
One question.
Yes, we have a question from audience.
Please have some very insightful questions.
Could you tell us the financial implication one has to go through
Yes.
to study in an Ivy League school in US?
Okay.
Right from the start, the GRE, hiring of a counselor, the application process, visa process, and of course the tuition fees.
So for the benefit of the audience, what Vipin asked was, can you go through the financial implication for an Ivy League university from the start to the end? Alright. So I booked a counselor. First of all, I went like that. I booked a counselor which costed me around 40,000 rupees, and I gave 3 GRE exams. One GRE exam was around 22,000 rupees, and so 22 into 3, and then I gave TOEFL first. I got 98 of 120. TOEFL was around 16 to 20,000. I don't remember clearly. Then I gave IELTS also. So I was not confident if I'll get admission into Cornell or MIT through 98 TOEFL. Stanford didn't accept IELTS for that program.
Okay.
So I gave IELTS for MIT and Cornell. I got 7.5 band, and that IELTS costed around 18,000. After that, I think application is a major thing. One application on an average costed me around 7,000. I applied to 5 colleges. So on an average 7,000.
35,000. Okay.
Alright. And after application, after you get a positive response, you need to reserve your seat. So reserving a seat was 1.25 lakhs for Cornell, Ivy League. Okay. And then now my fees is around 65,000 for dollars for 1 year, which comes to around 55 lakhs.
Okay.
And including the living expense and 2 years of tuition, my entire fees comes to around the amount which I was told to secure from Cornell was 1.6 crores.
Okay.
So I need to show funds 1.6 crore to Cornell to get the I-20.
Okay.
Which I was able to do only by student loan. And for student loan, I paid 1 lakh separately.
Okay. Student loan to the college time?
No. I got it from HDFC Credit.
Okay.
Yeah. So to finally, so they came. I gave my house as a collateral to get the sanction letter and to finalize the credit giver. We need to give certain amount and then they give you a sanction letter.
Okay. So if
it was very expensive.
Yes. Yeah. If we summarize, before you got an admit, we are easily looking for a 1 lakh investment. Let's just cut the repeat part of GRE for now. Let's go with that. You're given one attempt because you focus. Let's say we're still looking at almost a lakh of investment due to applications, counselor. I'm going with counselor because most of us will not know how to apply, what to write, etc. So finance is definitely a big part.
Yes.
One more question.
There is one more question. Yes.
May I know what will be your plan after your degree? Are you staying there or you are coming back to India?
Okay. So I'll repeat the question. So from the audience question is Aditya, what's his plan? Aditya's plan after he completes his degree, and is he coming back to India?
So I think I intend to come back to India. I have my family business, but I do want to start my own separate, completely managed by me business. I will have full power and full power to make decision. But I also want to have some international exposure, some international work exposure. My mentor, Toastmasters Sham, I am very used to call him Toastmasters Sham, Shiv Shankara Sham. He is an author now. He has 29 years of corporate experience, and then he started his own venture. And now his venture is booming. It's doing very well. And he says that he gives a good amount of credit to the network also. So I think the possibility to build a network and to have some experience is through job. I will be looking to have 1 to 2 years of work-ex in US and then come back to India and start my own venture.
So if I summarize to the audience, there is no brain drain happening. We are getting Aditya back, so we having so good talent is going to come back.
Finger crossed.
So any more questions for our audience? No. So I think we can conclude this, and I am thankful for Aditya to give us this insight about his journey and how he's going to grow. So that's it.
Thank you.